Not to be outstupided by Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg decided to stop formalized fact checking on Meta websites. At first, I thought they meant that that it was going to be a thing where tone matters and payload doesn't, right? Which is how almost like how Reddit is moderated, right? You could say, as long as you say please and thank you, you could say the 14 words on Reddit if you want. But I think they meant that they're going to pivot back into showing people more news.
Well, I was hoping for them to show more cat videos or something.
Civilian drone takes out Super Scooper water dropping aircraft in Southern California. Some people might not know about the restrictions. Some people might think they're helping, but some of these people know exactly what they're doing and are doing it for the click.
Yeah, this is really messed up. Like, don't fly your drones around the fire.
Hey, how the tech are you? I am producer Dave, as the name might imply. I am the producer and co-producer and co-host of this show, the producer of all the other shows at Eplex Media. Check out our website to find out more, or don't. That's fine with me. I'm not married to you going to my website. My first story is Meta works on Twitter like community notes feature for threads. Not to be outstupided by Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg decided to stop formalized fact checking on Meta websites. Meta plans to phase in community notes over the coming months. Reports are that community notes wasn't on the Meta roadmap until just this week, which I find interesting. Meta says they're getting rid of some restrictions on topics like immigration and gender, which is just code for we are allowing hate speech around immigration and gender. And they're claimed to be phasing civil content back into Facebook, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah. I'm somehow not surprised some way.
I tried to figure out what that meant by civil content, and I think what it means is they're going to be pushing news again.
Okay.
Because at first I thought they meant that it was going to be a thing where tone matters and payload doesn't, right? Which is how almost like how Reddit is moderated, right? You could say, as long as you say please and thank you, you could say the 14 words on Reddit if you want. But I think they meant that they're going to pivot back into showing people more news, which is great in conjunction with getting rid of any sort of formalized fact checking on their platforms. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. It's really smart.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping for them to show more cat videos or something.
Oh,
it's more civil, great. Unless it's, some racist cat or something.
I mean, we do Catterday and we are a little bit racist against the orange cats. We're like, that's an orange cat. That's a very dumb animal. No, I mean, this isn't surprising, right? Because everybody was like, oh, Silicon Valley's woke and this and that. I'm like, no, they're just gonna go wherever the political winds take them, down the path of least resistance so they can make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
And
it just all of a sudden Mark Zuckerberg kind of changed his tune when Trump got elected, right? Still to be installed.
Well, it seems like this time around, Trump's trying to be their friends.
Yeah,
and since these are dorks who don't have any friends.
Yeah,
Donald Trump's playing these people.
And it seems like the tech guys you're trying to be friends with Trump instead of fighting against him, or even just fighting for what's right.
Or just being like, I don't know, it's not my job. You got elected the president. Good for you. Right?
Right. Or just not paying him lip service, but not actually changing anything, right? They didn't have to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but I think they're going to make more. Facebook makes more money if they allow more of this stuff. They make more money if they allow things to spread virally that are untrue, especially if those things are inflammatory. So this is just it's the money, baby. It's the money. So, and this has always been the case. They've always pushed this kind of content. They just wanted to pretend that they weren't. Now they feel like, I don't know, it's easier to just not pretend for now. But then if the political winds start to blow the other way, they'll go, oh, we tried this and here were the problems we had with it. And here's how we're going to do better next time. I mean, this is just the way they're going to do it. I don't really care. I need social media. I need they keep propping up more of these. And I'm like, crap, it's just another thing I have to join now. I have to promote my work. But this community notes thing is incredibly dumb, because that now it's instead of having people who are possibly domain experts, or at least good at figuring out what the domain experts think, now it's basically a popularity contest for any and all ideas. And that's the truth isn't always popular, and what's popular isn't always true.
Well, you can always join Mastodon and get away from all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, I understand, but I'm talking to viewers,
but I mean, Mastodon is only, but you just join a good instance where you just try to find a good instance where the moderation is, where you want it or whatever. I don't know. Right. I don't know. I think this doesn't matter. I think like Facebook's seen its day. I don't think that its stock price is going to take a hit anytime soon, but I think it's seen its day. And I think Threads didn't really catch on the way they were hoping it would. I think people are getting annoyed with Instagram. I think that there's not much growth in there. It's just that and because there's no growth, and there may even be a slight retraction, a slight shrinking of the daily audience or whatever, that they may just be trying to get their most active users on there to spend as much time on there and get as angry as they can. And and if you have one uncle left who is somewhat tethered to reality but uses Facebook all the time, say goodbye to your uncle.
Yeah.
All right. My next story is not great. Civilian drone takes out Super Scooper water dropping aircraft in Southern California. So this is pretty irresponsible. A CL-415 Super Scooper aircraft was struck by a civilian drone this past Thursday. The Super Scooper didn't crash, but it's out of service for repairs. This aircraft can refill in about 5 minutes and has been incredibly helpful in fighting the fires. The drone in question was not part of the firefighting efforts and thankfully was destroyed in the collision. These people are violating the FAA's flight restrictions in the fire zone, and some of them are posting viral videos of them doing exactly that. Firefighting agencies are often forced to down their own aircraft when civilian drones are detected in the area. And these are serious offenses if you get caught. You could have tens of thousands of dollars in fines and up to a year in prison for each instance of this happening.
Yeah, this is really messed up. Like, don't fly your drones around the fire. I get it. You want to get pretty photos or videos of it or something, or as pretty as it can be since it's a massive disaster. But I was just watching a video on YouTube from a guy who's actually based in San Diego, but he was doing some good coverage about this and a lot of the technology and stuff around the fires. And he was like, yeah, this drone strike apparently happened pretty early on with the fires, and not only did it take out, they had to land that plane. Luckily it didn't crash or anything and it was able to come down, but then they had to down, like they couldn't, send up any other of these planes, these Super Scoopers, until they figured out like what was going on, where the drones were, and, whether or not it was safe to fly these planes. And because there was this big delay, like it allowed these fires to spread even more than they probably would have.
Right. This is some people might not know about the restrictions. Some people might think they're helping, but some of these people know exactly what they're doing and are doing it for the clicks, doing it for the views. Right.
Right. And
I don't know. They should just be, I don't know, should they shoot them? Well, no, you don't want to shoot the drone down because then maybe it starts another fire. It's not
good
funny.
Point. Yeah.
This is all messed up, though. Like, if you're unsure whether or not you should fly your drone, then the answer is don't fly your drone.
Good idea.
Should only fly that shit if you are absolutely sure that where you're flying it is safe and appropriate to fly it.
Right. I remember reading somewhere like some of the drones, I don't know which ones they are, but they actually had like GPS maps in them so they mapped out the no-fly zone. So they would not fly in the no-fly zones around like airports and stuff, but you don't know if that sort of thing would get updated for a fire.
I would just assume that people would be smart enough to be like, oh, look at there's these giant aircraft flying pretty low to the ground so that they can dump water or other kinds of like fire retardant material onto vegetation. I should not fly my drone there.
Well, see, there's your first problem is assuming that people will be smart enough for anything.
Right. Well, or considerate enough. I'm telling you, some of the people know damn well they're not supposed to be doing this, and it's a bad idea. True. But
that's true.
And considerate is like, I mean, that's not even quite the right. Are interested in seeing the fire get under control.
Right.
Like why are you even there? Get away from the fire. Like, get out of there.
So there was I thought it was like another airport, although it might have been like an army base or something or Air Force base. They like had trained hawks to go after drones.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think they had to have some special equipment on the Hawks though, because they'd go after the rotors and take them out, but I would assume that would have damaged the Hawk if they didn't have they weren't wearing armor basically.
Like armor Hawks.
But yeah, armor Hawks going after your drone. But apparently they're quite effective because that's basically what they do otherwise, except they're birds, right?
Right.
They go after birds.
Like I said, this is like not only are you flying this drone in this space, but you're somewhere that you shouldn't be. Like,
yeah,
I don't think if you're too close to the fire, you shouldn't get arrested. But why are you going toward the fire? Are you helping?
Well, yeah. There's a lot of people I've heard people going towards the fire, like driving, not taking a drone, because they're going to check out their house, right? Did it survive? Like that's after the fire has, or they perceive the fire has passed, but that doesn't necessarily, just because there's not giant flames doesn't mean that there's still not fire there or that it's, not dangerous, right? But
And
most of those are just being turned around by the cops or something.
Yeah.
So,
I understand the impulse. You're wondering, is all my shit okay? And
yeah,
but yet wait. And that's like, okay, I'm like more willing to like grant, even if that person's not supposed to be doing that, I'm more willing to grant that person, all right, well, I totally get it. Versus I actually live 80 miles from the fire is, and I'm going to do some drone footage of the fire.
Yeah.
Or I live 5 miles from the fire and get out of there. You live 5 miles from the fire. You're too close. Get away. Go.
Yeah.
Get out of there. I can't imagine if you're not helping, get out of there. And really what, if you want to take pictures of the devastation, you can do it afterward. Like after the fire's been contained and controlled, but then it's not going to go viral, right? Because the fire is like all over the news now. Not happy with humanity. Folks, if this comes out before next Friday, Conspiracy Bingo on Friday is going to be something, isn't it? Thanks everybody for checking out How the Tech Are You. We do this every week and it posts whenever it posts. You can find more information about me at echoplexmedia.com, and you are required to click one of these two things at the ends of my fingers. Have a great Tekken week.